Andertons TV, Charles Berthoud is with me still.
Hello.
Now, are you okay? Bit of whiplash?
Yeah, it was a pretty intense crash.
Traumatic.
All my gear got destroyed, which means I don't have a gig tonight.
Literally, in
terrible.
about 15 minutes time, apparently, you just got to get, and your insurance has only covered you for £1,000, right? So you've lost what, £10,000 worth of gear with all your bases, and
Yeah.
got £1,000. But that's okay. I think we can do it. Now, you're not a man who, for at least a while, you've not used amps, have you, for some time on your...
Yeah, not really.
When did you stop? What was your last, and what was it? Was it the hernia? What was it? What was it? The last car crash? Why did you stop using amps?
Why are you the way that you are?
It was the tour where, I was the only guy moving any of the equipment, so I was having to
Pre-roadie.
Yeah, exactly.
The pre-roadie days.
Yeah, and then I did a tour where I tried using a quad Cortex, and just brought a quad Cortex to every venue, and it sounded amazing, and it fit in my backpack. So.
Well, I've heard that story many, many times, not just from guitar players, but other bass players as well. So, okay, so we're going to stay in the digital domain, right? Loads of choice, but I think you're going to stay with what you know, right? Can't afford a proper quad Cortex. I think you're going to choose Nano, right?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
So have you got the ready programmed on your phone with the app and going, that's what I need, or do we need to sort that out for you?
I don't think I do, actually. We might have to do a little bit of tone shaping, yeah.
So Nano we'll go and get. I don't think I've ever actually heard a bass through a Nano yet, so I'm interested to hear that. But Nano was the sort of, we're not going to mess around and look at other alternatives. So that's 450 of your £1,000 slammed down on a Nano Cortex.
Yeah.
So here's where the more interesting bit starts. We can't afford your signature bass. It's way too expensive.
It's not that much more.
So let's have a little look in. I'm guessing you're going to go contemporary, right? Rather than...
Yeah, probably not the Hofner.
Really? You do some, well, I think you've got the outfit to rock that today.
True.
So let's go into our little bass room. And of course, as customers of Andertons will know, we're a little bit restricted for space in our store. So what you see on display is about 30% of what we actually stock in our main warehouse. And normally, you could just come in and go, can I get this, this, and this, please? And we'd bring it down from the warehouse for you. But as your gig is in 15 minutes,
Yeah.
we don't have time. Well, let's go around the room.
Okay.
I mean,
Schecter,
is this home from home, isn't it?
That's a pretty good start.
Was that sort of, we talked about that sort of arm cut on
Yeah.
was that something that was already on a Schecter bass and you liked it and inspired it, or do you think they've taken your idea and put it on their standard line?
This isn't quite as deep of a cutaway as mine, actually. You've still got to get over a little bit to get to the 24th fret. So my one, I think, comes even further down than that.
Well, you've got two choices and you can just about afford them all. So normal C4 or C4 Deluxe. There's a small, I'll do you a bit of a deal. You've got $550 to spend, this is $580. I can work that out.
All right.
But so we could go either of those.
Yeah.
Does the neck feel kind of similar? It looks a little narrower than yours.
It feels pretty similar.
Does
And
it?
it's definitely very smooth as well. I generally prefer a matte finish.
Right.
Or satin.
Deluxe, we can do that. That's a satin.
Nice.
I feel like this is a terrible Schecter shill video here, as they happen to be the first brand there, and you're endorsed by them. So, but anyway, look. So we could go with that one, and I promise you, this is not staged. Let's have a little look around those. So we got Fender, 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 Fender. So probably all a bit too traditional. I think. Yeah, that's cool, right?
Nice and sparkly.
Yeah, but too expensive for this challenge.
Yep.
What have we got here? So, right, there's definitely.
Oh yeah. Got a soft spot for Stingrays.
Yeah, tell me. You mentioned that over lunch that this is what you played pre-Schecter. So
Yeah.
what were you a big Flea fan? Was that?
I was a pretty big Flea fan. My first ever bass was a PV Milestone, which came with a little PV amp. But my first slightly more high quality bass was the Stingray. Got that probably like 20 years ago, 19 years, yeah, something like that.
Well, that's cool. Well, look, so in the Stingray range, annoyingly, the full fat sterling range is slightly too expensive for your £1,000 budget, and the sub range is going to leave you loads of change. So you could walk out of here having spent like £700 or £800, and then
could get a Megami cable as well.
Yeah, let's spend more on the cable than on the bass. Does that mean you want to try? Because I think we can take 2 or 3 basses back to the demo room and see what you like. So we could try that.
Yeah.
So we've got something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Sire is another really popular brand that we do, and although they do loads of jazz and P-bass styles, you've also got things that are way more contemporary.
Yeah.
Or you've got things that are obviously familiar. We can find you a 4-string version of that. There you go.
The black one was during Marcus Miller's brief death
Did you
metal
not?
phase.
Did you not know about that? Yeah, Marcus Miller's death metal project. I think they were booked to play at Download one year, but Marcus had to pull out another engagement. I mean, look, I can't.
Pretty cool, to be fair.
I can't decide if you're laughing because you don't like it or laughing because you do.
I kind of like it.
I thought you might actually.
Yeah.
What more? I mean, given that we've already got a sort of a Stingray style, it sort of feels a bit like, why not just not go for another Stingray style?
I think that's a good idea.
So this is M series from Sire. M for modern, I think, or something like that.
Sure.
Oh, do you know what though? Ibanez, super popular SR series. But then, do you know what, interesting, when we did the shootout, and I'm assuming the shootouts come out before this video, I didn't think you really bonded with any of the Ibanez's I gave you, but I mean...
was it a tone thing? Can you remember? Because if it's
you said they all sounded a bit nasal.
Yeah, that might just be the way I have my quad tone set up. So they did feel pretty good, I will say.
Well, we could take 4 back and narrow it down, then it's an Uber shootout. We got time for that, Oz?
Sure.
Let's do it. Right, we're back in the studio. Your show's on in, we've got about 11 minutes.
Wow, it's getting close.
So let's do the easy bits first, right? We have a Nano Cortex on the floor.
Yeah.
And you actually do travel with a Nano Cortex in case the Quad Cortex goes down, right?
Yeah, and I've actually not had to use it at all yet, luckily. So I'm actually not that familiar with it, but I do have one just in case. Well,
We pretty quickly found a DR103, which is the base model that you use on the big Quad Cortex. We're running it into an Ampeg 810. We put a little bit of compression on it. That's it. And you saw some screenshots, I think, on screen of what we've done. So I just used literally out the box stuff, easy peasy. Actually, that's not true. We had to go and download the DR103, didn't we? But it was like we haven't trialed a million different bass amps or anything like that. We just that's it. But the choice now is, and we have got your signature bass in amongst it just so you can refer back to it if you want to. The choice is a beautiful Schecter Deluxe C4, which is our most expensive bass of the 4. You can just about haggle me down 30 quid and get that and the Quad Cortex for your £1,000 budget.
Okay.
Or actually, we've got you got a couple of £100 to spend in the bar tonight if you want to. So we've got a Sterling single pickup Stingray from the sub series. We've got a Marcus Miller M2 4-string, and we've got an Ibanez SR300. All 3 of these are between the sort of 3 and 350 mark, so that's cool. Let's just do a couple of minutes on each one and see which one is. The objective here is to just try and be as comfortable as you can be to getting something close to that.
Okay, sure.
And then you let me know what you think. And I'd be interested, again, we'll talk a little bit about Sterling, just as in your Stingray years.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's have a little listen.
Give it a spin.
I'm going to guess, just pure tonally, that's not an active bass, but I could be wrong. Is there a battery compartment on the back?
There is.
There is. That's in. Okay, so I am wrong, not the first time, but it doesn't have the sparkle that your signature bass has, or at least, but maybe it's the Nano Cortex. Could be that.
I was gonna say, the settings might be a little bit different. The compression levels. Sometimes I feel like heavier compression can get rid of the sparkle a little bit. So we'd be interested to hear what the CB4 sounds like through this, actually.
We'll do that one last.
Okay.
So that's the. Other than that, though, I assume things like the neck and the balance and everything is like hyper familiar, as that is, the closest sort of outline to your signature bass.
Yeah, like it's almost the exact same shape, isn't it? And neck feels nicely weighted and slightly thicker neck, I would say, but it feels pretty familiar. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the Schecter. Let's just, if you want to, we can unplug now. It won't click. It's the special Mogami noiseless cable thing. So do you want to just take the Stingray and see how we go here?
Sure.
From memory of picking the Stingray up, it was quite a bit heavier than the Schecter.
It is. Yeah.
Does that something, if you're playing standing up for a length of time, is that a consideration when you're choosing basses?
I would say so. 6-string basses are always like a bit of a slog to play for like an hour and a half, So a heavy 4-string can definitely be pretty tiring.
Yeah.
This one, it's heavy, but I've definitely had heavier.
Okay.
It. Thicker.
Oh, he's thick.
Is it a bit a bigger neck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess because perhaps I've always been a sucker for maybe guitars that look a bit more vintage than the sort of contemporary vibes here.
Yeah.
But I think the Stingray, just the look, the sort of the big round scratch plate, the single pickup, I honestly would put that as maybe my favorite looking bass of all. I just think it's such a classic look, and it probably is helped by the fact that so many great bass players have used one as well.
Yeah, and I really like the look of the pickups.
Looks
on
mean,
the
doesn't
Stingrays.
it?
Yeah, it's just like so big and bold, and this color is cool too, very vintage.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have obviously when you're playing a maple neck guitar, is it even something that you are conscious of, or is it a visual thing for you?
I would say I'm not conscious of it at all in terms of like feel or tone or anything like that. I do think, the actual neck on mine is maple, but the fretboard is rosewood. I really like the look of maple fretboards on the right bass. Like I think a white bass with a maple fretboard can look really, really cool and classy. Yeah. I think on my bass, rosewood looks better.
I agree. Because
it's just got like a dark vibe to it overall.
Yeah.
But I think maple can look very cool on the right bass.
Cool. Is it what? I'm not even going to ask you until we get right to the end, and I'm just going to go. Okay, so pick your favourite. So we're not going to have any sense of like a second or third place or anything like that.
Sure.
Before we do move on, though, just fill me in because you were saying Stingray that was what you grew up playing, or for a large part of your playing.
Yeah. So the first ever bass I had was a PV Milestone, which I got with a little PV amp. It was like a beginner starter pack thing. But I realized I should upgrade after like a few years of playing that. And I think it was actually called a Music Man Sterling. But this was like 20 years ago. So I think it's different from what is now Sterling.
Oh, so Sterling would have just been maybe one of the cheaper American basses rather than maybe its own range.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Yeah.
And I remember it looked very similar to a Stingray to me. It was like a candy red with a black scratch plate. I really liked it. It was very easy to play, had a good like percussive slightly metallic tone, which was good for slap and stuff like that.
Who did you want to be at that point? Who were you idolizing?
It was Flea mostly at the beginning, Cliff Burton to some degree, Mike Dirnt, a lot of like the rock and metal bassists. And then towards the end of my Stingray era, I started getting into Victor Wooten. And the Stingray is you can play Victor Wooten on it, but there are other basses that are better for playing that kind of style.
Do you think the Stingray just does the bold and brash thing really, really well?
Yeah.
But then maybe not maybe doesn't have the nuances that some other basses have.
I think so. It definitely has that very scooped sound, which is great for slap and flea kind of stuff. But I think for the more melodic things, it doesn't have quite as much of the mids, which I would like.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right. Let's try the next one then.
Sure.
Lots of knobs on this. The Sire stuff, that's their kind of...
It's their thing.
That's their main thing. And the thing I think that gets amazing feedback is the preamps that go in there. The preamps and the pickups that they use in their guitars are even on the highly affordable stuff, gets great feedback from customers.
Okay.
But let's see. Visually, this is the one where I actually think just the color scheme and the natural binding reminds me the most of your bass. Maybe it's a bit metal up here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit more metal, a bit more spiky, and completely black. Even the pickups are completely black.
You've come dressed for this bass today.
I have. Yeah, the color scheme is going great.
This is great. I think it's mad as well. Obviously, I think when you get to a certain level of ability, it's sort of the instrument almost is less important because you're going to make anything sound good. But the fact that you're able to play all that stuff on any of these, let's remind us, 300 quid bass guitars, right? I mean, this isn't even necessarily like some people will this is the bass they'll buy to start on. It's mad that they're so good. Yeah, I can't decide. I'm not an expert on the bass stuff. I think that little metal switch, if I'm right, maybe Oz will remember, turns the active preamp on and off.
Ah.
So I think you may have turned it off, and then you won't hear. But everything's on the centre detente at the moment, so you're probably not going to hear anything. But if you start fiddling, this is where you find out I'm wrong again. It's the other way around. Maybe you did have it switched on.
So this is volume.
Let's have one of those 2 minutes later.
A few moments later.
We're back in the room, having established what the 56 controls on a Sire bass actually do. And I take it back, Charles. Upwards on that is active on rather than off. So yeah, I mean, obviously you've got tons of stuff you could do with that if you wanted to. But did you scoop it a bit more, or were you not sort of finding there's anything you need to really do?
I didn't really get anything. Let's see what we've got right now, actually. So this one's
pickup balance.
Pickup.
So volume and tone are on the first control.
Right, and this is blend, so
all the way one way is neck pickup, all the way the other is back pickup.
Right. Yep.
And then you've got treble, mid with a sweep, and bass.
Right. Let's see. Yeah, that's the kind of tone I generally get.
I was going to say, with everything flat, it was a very woody sounding bass.
Yeah.
Like, as in it was sort of very straight down the middle, nice sort of, mellow tones. And I wondered if your bag was maybe going to be to perhaps tweak that a little bit.
Yeah, I've gone with a bit of a scoop now,
Yeah.
which is what I usually do.
Fine.
Yeah.
That scoop thing, if you were advising other bass players, if you're a guitar player, traditionally the scoop is something that you kind of find the minute the rest of the band kind of kicks in. If your sound is too scooped, you're lost in that sort of mix. Is the same true for bass, or can you sort of get away with a more scooped bass sound?
I think it is kind of true for bass as well. I think the thing with bass though is that the low frequencies on a bass are so low that it's really only the kick that you're competing with in like a mix. But one thing I always do is if I'm tapping with other instruments, I actually always boost the mids. So I go for almost like a reverse scoop, and that helps it cut through. If you don't, you kind of just you just hear like the low part of the tapping, and then you can't actually hear any of the high stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's get on to the fourth bass. Okay, so SR300, uber popular range of bass. SR for sound gear, I think it sounds like. The shape has always been very popular for Ibanez. It's got a similar set of controls, I think, to the Sire. That's sort of probably a similar set to what you've got on your Schecter as well. But let's have a little. I kind of, like I say, I got the impression that you didn't warm to the Ibanez vibe in the shootout, in the blindfold thing we did. But let's see if we can change your perceptions.
Yeah. I actually quite like the feel of it. The sound is pretty nice too, actually.
I think flat as it is now, I do take on board your slightly nasally comment.
Yeah.
I do get that. It's maybe not quite as bassy, maybe a bit more mid-range pushed than the others.
Sure.
I mean, I guess that's the whole point with an active EQ, right? You can just very, very quickly dial in a different tone.
Yeah. Do you know which one is bass out of these? All right, so that's treble.
On Ibanez, they're backwards. So
Right.
Right, okay.
So bass. Let's see what happens if we go a bit more scooped. That definitely makes it less nasal. Yeah.
Right, plug your old familiar in.
All right.
And then I guess see if once you've sort of reminded yourself how your signature bass sounds, let's pick the one that you think is closest to that.
Yeah, which one? What was the first one? Was it this one?
Yeah.
I guess kind of unsurprisingly, I think this one might be the most similar. It is a Schecter and it's basically the same body shape. I liked how it sounded and felt too. I think the one that felt the most different to me, surprisingly, was actually the Stingray.
Yeah.
Thicker. The tone was like... It's almost like there was like a little bit of distortion happening or something.
Right, okay.
I don't know if it's because it's like a higher output or something. It had like less of a modern sound to me than the other basses here.
Well, look, let's do 10 seconds on that, and then we'll finish playing up on that. And provided you go, yep, that's what I'm doing, then that's what we're sorting you out with. Okay. £1,000, one of those. Amazing, to be honest with you. Just, can you think back to if you used to be a bass player 25 years ago or whatever like that, and you'd be carrying Ampeg SVTs and 8x10s up the stairs. That's almost pocket-sized, that, isn't it? So
it is, yeah.
It's certainly gig bag sized.
Definitely.
And you are good to go, basically, aren't you? So let's just do the final. Does this sound basically like that? And
Okay.
then we're good to go.
Sure.
Monster. Okay.
I feel bad every time I unplug it. I'm like, there's going to be a pop.
No, you got to get your silent Neutrik Megami cables.
I do. Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of like mine, but with newer strings. Basically.
It's so in the right ballpark, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if it feels right and the weight distribution, everything is right and everything's cool, you got the satin finish that you wanted.
Yeah.
Wow, there we go. It's been a win for Schecter again today. So that's it. You better get to your gig. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning in. Yes, go, if you're not already, subscribe to Charles's channel. You probably are. But if you're not, we'll link to his channel below. You can go and check out his videos there. And yes, thank you so much. See you next time.